Hello and welcome back to a new video. Today is normally when I upload my weekly reading vlog, but as I haven't read anything this week and I was planning to participate in this anyway, this is just going to be the Becca's Bookopoly 48-hour readathon, and it is literally just starting now. I'm really late. I lost my book and took a while to find it, and I'm delayed. So this isn't even focusing now. I'm getting panicked. So if you didn't know, Becca's doing a Bookopoly on her channel, and she has it a live show for like every single moment of it, depending on which channel, like there's on different channels, and she's releasing prompts for the readathon every 12 hours, I think. The first two prompts have been released and they are fantasy and a dark cover. You can cross match them, so I'm going to be continuing reading the Obelisk disc, which I have not read any more of if you watched my last week's reading vlog. So I'm literally only 50 pages in, so I have still quite a chunk to get through. Hopefully at least we'll finish one book this readathon. I do have a few books. I have the next book in the series and also The Assassin's Apprentice as another one. Hopefully another book prompt can pop up that I can use them. Oh, it started. Good morning. So it is currently nearly about to turn 12 o'clock, so we're fourth of the way through the readathon, and I watched the first 2 hours of Becca Sprints and then I just couldn't do any more. I read about 50 pages and then I was just like, I'm too tired for this. And then I actually just woke up about half eight, so then I joined on the sprints that were going on at that point, and I did the whole 4 hours of that. So these sprints make me realise how slow of a reader I am. Is anyone else there a slow reader? Because people like after the sprint, like 45-minute sprint, are posting all the pages that they've read, and they've read like 100 pages, 150 pages, and I'm just like sitting here with my 30 pages thinking that was quite a lot for me. So I'm a really slow reader, but I've managed to read just over 150 pages, which is pretty good for me. Like, I'm happy with that. I obviously wish I was a faster reader, but yeah, my plan is to finish this today. So it's just under 400 pages and I have 180 to go, thereabout. If I read about 60 pages every 2 hours, I can't even do that maths. I'm that tired, and I've slept 6 hours. Is that right? It's going to take me 6 hours, so I should finish this not in this load of sprints, but in the next load of sprints. But they are doing the drop for these sprints in this one, so I'm going to film it and then I'm going to let you know what I've chosen for those next prompts, because I have quite a few options here for me. I've got the gilded ones, the next one in the series, but I think I might not do that because it is taking me such a long time to get through the book. Whereas because this is a YA, I feel like I might be able to get it through faster. And then again, I have Assassin's Apprentice, but this one's just under 400 pages, this is just over 400 pages, so is this one. And then I think I have the next book in the Bone Season, which is much smaller as well, so I'm tempted to that just because of the sheer size of it. So hopefully I can find some prompts, or the prompts will be... I was thinking if like a contemporary or a sci-fi comes up, I am screwed because I have nothing in those genres, I think, on my shelves that I haven't already read. It started.
Roll number 2. 7. And that is a book with POC rep. 2021 board, roll number 2 is 7. And that is a contemporary.
So this is actually will work for the POC rep. It's both written by N.K. Jemisin, and I think the majority of the characters are people of colour, so that will tick that prompt. But the contemporary one, I have no idea at all. I looked at my shelf, I have 3 books I think on there that could be classed as contemporary. One is by Adam Silvera, which I haven't read in years and I really don't fancy read. And none of them I fancy reading. I just don't really have any contemporary at the moment. Like, I have loads on my wish list that I would rather read, but obviously I can't pop to the shop and buy them. I'm not sure about this. We might have to... They did say like you could also, for a contemporary, have something that's written recently, as like it's a contemporary of our time, which obviously then would, like, I could use the gilded ones for that because that was written, that came out just a few weeks ago. So maybe I'll have to do that and be sneaky, even though I wouldn't classify this as a contemporary. Like, I would classify the genre of contemporary as without magic. But I don't know, I don't have anything on my shelf for that. This could be tricky. This could be tricky. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Hello, so it is currently 5:30 and I have finished the Obeliskate. So that is book 1 done, and because I can't find a contemporary that I am in the mood to read and want to force myself to read, basically. So I am not going to completely like put all of the prompts that I can on this book, because this book can be like fulfill 3 of the prompts at the moment. So at the moment it's just going to be the dark cover one, and potentially, yeah, the dark cover one, and then I think I'm going to read the gilded ones, just because even though it is a couple pages longer than the Assassin's Apprentice, it is a YA, so I think it will be easier just to consume and just a little bit lighter perhaps than an adult fantasy will be. And yeah, so like the pages, the words are a lot bigger, which I'm liking at the moment, so that's what I'm going to go on to. But this book, what are my thoughts? So obviously I'd only read 50 pages before starting this today, and so I read like most of it today, and whilst it wasn't necessarily a struggle, like I didn't find my mind wandering too much, it did help the sprints, like they did keep me focused and like the goal of wanting to finish it, and I have finished it earlier than I expected to. So that's good. That's good for me. Everyone was like, seriously, such fast readers on those things. It like scares me. Like people like 100 pages and I'm still on my level 30. It's just like, okay. But this has, I feel, middle book syndrome, where it's the middle book in a trilogy and it just feels like not a lot happened. Everything was kind of setting up for the next installment of the trilogy. So we had a lot of information kind of being dumped on us through the telling of other characters. There wasn't a lot of like discovery information, which I think is kind of the way I prefer it to be in fantasies. Like it feels like it's then not just being like thrown at you. So the first book, for example, I really enjoyed how we discovered the world, because we discovered the world as the characters journeyed through it. They had a lot of like kind of journey, I suppose, like travel log themed stories where they actually moved through the world and they were discovering their magic and it kind of explaining things as they happened. And it feels a lot less info dumpy, whereas for this the main character is in the same place the entire time, and it just kind of lacked a little bit of kind of movement, a bit of plot progression, because it was all just, I don't know, it just seems like not a lot happened until the end. And if that's going to be the case, I would like a lot of more character driven development. And whilst I think she is getting to that point, I think she's still very independent. She's still very like hurt and traumatized by what she's been through, and she hasn't really been able to deal with that very well so far, which is understandable. Like what she's gone through is horrific and like traumatizing, but you do kind of want to see how she handles that, and at the moment it just seems like she's not really. I don't know. Does that make sense? So it just felt like a little bit of a slow book for me, and I think it was kind of good that I read it all in one go, because it meant that it was all kind of condensed down, I suppose. If I had to like pick it up and put it down, pick it up and put it down, it would have felt like a lot of was happening for the time spent that I was reading it. If that makes sense. I don't know if it did, but there we go. So that is that one. I don't know what I'm going to rate it. I think I'm going to sit on it for a little bit longer and then give it a rating. So hopefully I'll remember and I'll come back to it maybe tomorrow and give it a rating for you. If not, check out my Goodreads. It will probably be on there by the time this has been uploaded. I look very blue at the moment. Yes, so I am next going on to, if that makes sense, The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. I really like her name. So this one is, I just quickly read the blurb because I was trying to decide what to read between this and The Assassin's Apprentice. I asked my mum and my stepdad and they both said the opposite one, so I asked my cat and she decided this one. Joking kind of, she just sniffed this one before she sniffed the other one, so I'm going with this one. So this follows a girl who lives in a world where I think people have different coloured blood, and there is a ceremony that decides or like reveals what your blood is, and if it shows to be gold, then you're considered a demon or part demon, and you're sent off to this army of other part demon girls in this city, and when she gets to the city, things are going wrong, basically. So that's what this one is. I don't think I'm going to start it just now. I might have like a half an hour break and then get back into it. Just kind of stretch my legs a bit because I've literally been reading for about 9 hours with the 15-minute kind of interval breaks between the reading sprints. So that's a long time to be sitting down. I mean, I do that most days, to be fair. I'm a lazy person, but I'm gonna just like stretch my legs a little bit and then get into this one, which I'm excited to do because it looks beautiful. Beautiful. I do love the colour. I love the colour actually, and the cover. I meant to say cover. So I'm going to do that. I'm rambling. Now, maybe I'm going a little bit crazy from reading for so long and not talking to anyone, but that's just what we've got to deal with. I will speak to you when I'm a little bit more into the gilded ones and let you know how that's going. I have to go eat my dinner now, it's ready, so I'm just going to give you a really like super quick update, and I'm 100 pages into the gilded ones and I'm actually really enjoying it, much more than I expected to. YA fantasy has been very hit and miss with me recently, and I'm only 100 pages in. Like usually I expect to like not like it until like the end of YA, just because I don't know why, but I'm really enjoying this and I'm excited to continue it, and I don't think it will be difficult to finish it in this readathon, so fingers crossed. It keeps getting good.
For roll number 3 is an 8, and that is the first book in a series. 21 board roll number 3 is a 9, and that is a chance card, and my chance card is Confess by Biblio.
Just when I think this book can't get any better, we have a blue fantasy magical kitten involved. It seems so random, but I love it. I want a blue kitten that has little horns. It just sounds so cute. Morning. So it is day 2 of the readathon, and I was hoping to stay up a lot later last night, but it got to about 2 o'clock and I was watching Gavin and Lexi's live show and it was really fun. They were doing like sleepover themed stuff, but I was just so tired, like my eyes were so puffy. I was just like, I can't read anymore, I can't do it. So I ended up going to bed, and I did wake up at 7. Oh, I can't stop yawning. But ended up going back to sleep for another 2 hours. So it's currently 9 o'clock and I reckon I can finish this book before 12 o'clock. Oh, also the drop, the roll drop. So there was another roll drop at midnight, and the roll was the first book in a series, which I'm going to pick an Assassin's Apprentice, or Assassin's Apprentice. I don't think it has anything before it. And then the other one was a chance card. So the way that works is that you compile your TBR, half of books that you really want to read, half of books that you're not that fussed about, and then you random number generate it, and then that's the book it's on. But I'm just not going to be able to read another book in this readathon. So whilst I wanted to at least double up and hit every prompt, I'm not going to hit the contemporary one, I'm not going to hit the chance card one, and there's still 2 more drops to go. I think every other one I have hit, I don't know, but I'm just enjoying myself. I'm just loving that I just spent a whole day reading yesterday, living the best life, even if I am absolutely knackered. I wanted to actually say, I forgot to mention when I was talking about the Obelisk disc yesterday, that even though I felt like it was really slow, what kind of kept me interested was the format it was written. So if you remember, like last week's reading vlog, I mentioned it was in second person, which is a format I haven't really read before, unless it's been like a really short paragraph in a book. Oh my god. so many yawns, making me cry. But this, the majority, like the main perspective is written in second person, so it's you went there, you went this, you did that. And whilst a lot of the time I found it a little bit distracting, like it did kind of pull me out of the reading experience quite a bit, so it's not my favourite form. It kind of is working into the plot a bit more, like it's to do with the plot and the characters in the plot, and I hope it is actually more to do with the plot, which I think will be revealed in the last book, if it's obviously in the plot. If it's not revealed in the last book, then I'm guessing it's not in the plot. But I kind of wish it is, like there is a reason for it being spoken to you. But I found that interesting, and seeing that come together was cool. The Gilded Ones, I am currently on page 258, so I have another like 150 pages to go. Hoping I can get that done in the next 3 hours. I should be able to, because I'm reading this a lot faster than I tend to read. I think both because it's YA and just I'm actually enjoying it. Not that I wasn't enjoying the other books, but like I'm engrossed in the storyline. It is very fast paced. It's at moments too fast paced, which is kind of a signature of YA. If you're getting used to reading quite a lot of adult fantasy who take their time, aka Brandon Sanderson, then reading YA that is fast paced YA can feel like you just want to slow down a little bit and just take your time a little bit more. But I am really enjoying it. It's very fast paced, so it keeps you really engaged because there's pretty much something happening. I keep yawning. There's pretty much something happening every like chapter or every other chapter, and it's very interesting. I never really heard the premise of it before, so it follows like demons, and yeah, I don't know. That was such a good description. But kind of seeing it from the demon perspective, and as I said, we've got like a little shape-shifting blue kitten creature in it now, which is so random, but I love it. And there are moments, like I said, when it feels rushed. I feel like those are the bits where I just want it to like either more plot, like more like it will just say kind of, oh, they're now really good at this, and you're like, but I want to see how they got really good at it. So it kind of has a plot where they go to the army and they get trained to kind of use their demon abilities, and then they go and fight these other demons. But like a lot of plots, you see them actually getting trained, whereas if you don't, it feels very quickly trained and then it moves on, which is fine. Like if you're not one that wants to see them actually training and like the ins and outs of it, then this is perfect for you. If you find that kind of stuff boring in fantasies, which I often do actually, it can be quite dull. So that's one thing. And then also the characters like very quickly all became close. For example, a bunch of the girls, they're all girls, the demons, they were all in this like being taken to where they're going to get trained, and they'd all just met. And then in the car to where they're going to get trained, they were all like, no, I don't want to be friends with you. Or one of them was like, no, I don't want to be friends with you, don't talk to me. And then by the time they got there and were sat down listening to them do their opening speech, they were all like, yes, let's be friends, and shook hands. So that was a bit fast. Like there seemed to be no reason for that, since especially like the scene before, she was like, don't help me. So I don't really, that was very fast. So just little things like that I've picked up on, but I think I'm being more critical as well. I'm really waffling now, so I'm really focusing on these things now because I'm trying to write my own. Well, I'm going through my phase again. I'm trying to write my own book, so I'm like paying more attention to how things are like created and built up, and like how characters' relationships are built up and those kind of things. So I think that's why I'm picking up on more. But saying that, it's just an observation I have. Like I don't dislike it for it. It's still a really good book, and I'm really enjoying myself. So I would really recommend this actually. It surprised me because I haven't had the best of luck with YA fantasies recently. This was on my most anticipated release for 2020. It came out in 2021, but it was one of my most anticipated releases, so I am impressed with my anticipation. Hopefully it keeps getting good and the ending is not a letdown, which I don't think it will be. But you never know. Endings are normally pretty good, I think. I'm going to go read, and I'll see you next prompt drops at 12 o'clock. So I finished the Gilded Ones. I finished it literally on 12 o'clock, so literally on my goal. And it was, the ending was not what I expected. It kind of felt like it came out of nowhere. It was also a little bit too nice for my liking. I think that's maybe another thing like I'm seeing between YA and adult fantasy, and the ones that I've read recently anyway. I don't know actually. I don't know about that, but this ending just seemed too nice. Everything just seemed too nice. It kind of all came together too nicely, very quickly as well, like keeping up with the quick pace of everything just kind of happening like that. Everything was like resolved, found out, accepted, and moved on very fast. Like I felt like there was no kind of character deliberation or internal kind of processing of it. It was just like they were told what it was, she accepted it, and they acted upon it. And there was just no internal character development through it. I don't know. But I did enjoy it. The thing with the ending was I was reading it and I was thinking, oh, I was sure this was a series. But now I think it must be a standalone because everything was just getting wrapped up so nicely. And like this could be a standalone. And I was certain it was until I turned to the last page and it said that the next book was coming out in 2022. So it's not a standalone. But it definitely did feel like it was like all wrapped up really nicely. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I feel like I wanted more, I don't know. I'm just a horrible person basically. I just wanted her to go through some more horrible things, which is really horrible, but I just felt like it was just too nice. That's horrible. But I am going to give this 4 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and for a YA, I think it was really good, and one of the best YA fantasies I've read in a long time. So I think if you like this genre, then you will like this and you should definitely pick it up. I feel like the concept of the world was very unique. The whole kind of like archetype of discovers power, goes to get trained in power to become like serious warrior is quite well known, but the way this take on it was definitely unique, and it felt like it was like something new and exciting, which I enjoyed. So it's currently, I've just taken like an hour break because I hadn't even peed. I literally woke up, started reading, and then it got to like 12 and I realised I hadn't had breakfast, my stomach was rumbling, I hadn't even peed for the day, hadn't washed my face. Basically just turned into a slob to finish this book. So I did all those things. I spoke to my family for a bit, and it's now 1 o'clock, and I was thinking, oh, if I read 30 pages an hour, I could finish this in 12 hours. But then I would have no life and I wouldn't be able to breathe basically because I'm that slow of a reader. People will be like, oh, 30 pages an hour, that's nothing. It takes me an hour to read that. So actually I did read this much faster, but I think this will take me slower. And I also don't want to rush it. Like I don't know how people read that fast. I am one of those people that literally read it word for word as I go across. So I'm like, and yet it was warm and not unkind as it held me. Mine. See, I can't even read. So I'm a terrible reader basically, but I enjoy that way of reading. I've tried to speed it up. I've tried to do the little like, you know, you just look at the words and try to absorb them magically into your brain, and it just doesn't work for me. I don't find it as enjoyable, and I don't connect to the story as much. So I will work on speeding up, but it's gonna be a slow process. I'm also like cooking dinner, and I've got to go to the shops to get food and all that kind of stuff. So I might go and get some snacks and enjoy this. And my target is just to read 200 pages, so half of the book before the end of the readathon. And even if I don't get that, I will still be really happy with the books that I've read and the progress I've already done this weekend, because literally in a day and a half I read 2 books basically, minus 50 pages of the other one. That's really good for me, and I'm very happy with my achievements of this. And I read some really good books and I enjoyed myself, and I think this is going to be really good too. So I'm excited for the next 12 hours and we'll see how this goes. And the readathon is over. It is currently quite a few minutes past midnight, and I'm not gonna lie, I hit a wall. So last time I spoke to you, I literally have not read. I read 25 pages since I last spoke to you, so the last quarter of the readathon I didn't do much reading, but I am enjoying this and I'm excited to continue on with it tomorrow and the rest of the week. But the readathon, I did just read what I wrapped up in the last vlog, but I just really enjoyed this 24 hours or 48 hours of just reading. Tomorrow it's back to the university essay writing grind, which is so exciting, but it'll be fine. But I just really enjoyed it, and like it was such a good readathon, like because they had so many sprints going on, it was so much fun. I really enjoyed myself this weekend, and the roll drops as well. Like I thought it was really cool how I like to plan beforehand, but I really enjoyed how they were like came every 12 hours. If I was a faster reader, it would have been great for me, but 8 prompts is too much. I feel, well, what did I feel? I read a fantasy, a dark cover, POC rep. I didn't read the first in a series. Oh no, Gilded Ones is the first in a series. That's 4 prompts. I can't remember what the last 2 prompts were. I didn't film them. I don't know what the last 2 prompts are. But I did 4 out of 8 prompts with 2 books, so that's not bad. That's not bad. I'll take that. So yeah, thank you for watching this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like the video and then subscribe to my channel because it would really help me out and you won't then miss another video. Splendid. Let me know if you did the readathon and how you got on. If you managed to read for like all the 48 hours apart from sleeping and eating. Because if you did, that's very well done. I almost did it. Almost. Just this last section I didn't. I'll see you in the next reading vlog very soon. I hope you had a good day and see you then.